you doing? Mongo? How you doing, Mongo? Girl, I'm back. I was gone for a minute. Now I'm back again. But back again, as Alyssa Edwards would say. All right, I'm going to tell you guys another story, okay? This is number 3. Really number 4, because I told you 2 stories in the last one, okay? Child, oh Lord. I'm gonna tell you another story about an interaction I had with the police, okay? This story is wild. Like, this story I'm gonna try to keep it under 10 minutes, but this story is wild. I was living in Bakersfield, California, and at this time, this was the point in my life where I was, again, homeless, right? And because I've now been homeless twice, so this is the second time that this has happened, and that's cool. It's really, it's cool. But Bakersfield, I was in Bakersfield, and I have some medical problems that I've had for a while now. That's part of what led to what has happened in my life. And I have faith it's going to work itself out. But let me tell you what happened. I was in Bakersfield, California, and I was in this town called, God, what is it? Rosecrest or something like that? I cannot remember the name of the area, but it's an area in Bakersfield, okay? So I was stuck basically. I had gone to the hospital. I had parked my car at a parking lot, and then I had ran out of gas. And so I'm thinking, okay, the gas station's right across the street, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be fine. I'll walk across the street, get my gas. The gas station was closed. So I'm like walking around this neighborhood, and there's only 5 gas stations in this entire neighborhood in Bakersfield. I got hot Cheetos on my hands. There's only 5 gas stations in this entire section of Bakersfield, and it's a huge area of Bakersfield. I cannot remember the name of it right now. I'm walking around, and I'm like literally walking for hours walking around trying to find a gas station that is open. I have no idea where I'm at. My phone is dead. Like by the time my phone's dead, I'm trying to figure out, where am I? Where's the gas station? Now how do I get back to my car? I don't have a phone to call anyone, right? So at one point I'm walking. I had Mongo with me, my little Shih Tzu Yorkie. I'm walking. And we're just walking. And I remember at one point I sat down and I was like, you know what, Lord, like, I can just die here, Jesus. You could just come and get me. Hello, is this Jesus? Come pick me up, please. Cause I'm done. Like, I was done. I was like, I can't walk anymore. I just been out of the hospital. I was like, I don't know where I'm at. No one will help me. Cars are passing by. I was clearly like distressed. Like, if I was driving and saw me, I would have stopped and been like, something is wrong with that person. Like, something's wrong with this person. And I'm just walking around, right? And I sat down at one point, and Mongo, thank God I had Mongo with me, because he was like, no, you need to get up and we need to keep going, right? Mongo's a little motivator. He's my guardian angel. So, being that I was an unarmed black man randomly walking in the neighborhood, I eventually run into fellow walkers, right? And so it's 2 women, one of whom is, white and stupid. Sorry, no offense. The other one is a Latinx, whatever, Latina woman. And she's very aggressive towards me, right? Because as soon as I see them approaching, I'm like, oh, let me kind of like back, let me stand back, because I don't want them to think I'm going to try to do something to them, right? And that's just, I think, a mentality that I have. Like, I'm not a woman, but I certainly understand how, like, me being black has nothing to do with, it's more of me being a man and them being women at night, walking. They had their dogs, right? But eventually, and what's funny is their dogs were like, because I'm a dog person, and I have yet to meet a dog who does not like me. I have yet to meet one. I have certainly met plenty of dogs. I do dog walking and dog sitting and house sitting and stuff like that, but I haven't met a dog who doesn't like me, right? So the Latino woman, I can't remember her name, eventually she lets me know that she's a police officer. At this point in time, I was doing some investigative journalism, which was part of the reason why I was homeless as well, because I was trying to do some investigative journalism on a pedophile ring that I discovered in Bakersfield. And this ring, to my knowledge, is still active. They might have moved operations. I haven't been back to Bakersfield I have been back there very briefly, but it was like in and out because I was like, I don't want them to know I'm here. I don't want them to figure it out because I don't know if they're still active or if they've moved operations. But I certainly was like, okay. And so I think her expectation was, when she tells me she's a cop, that I was going to be like, oh, well, I got to go now. Or like I was going to be afraid. And I was like, you're a cop? That's amazing. Can I talk to you? Right? Because I'm like, girl, you're a cop? Oh, I have some shit to tell you, right? And I'm thinking in my mind that she's going to be like, oh, like, oh, wow, tell me more. Okay, hold on. I need you to come to the station on, I work on Monday. Let me give you my card. I need you to come to the station so I could take a report. No. Her response was, how long have you been doing drugs? I was like, what? She asked me, didn't I think it was cruel to have a dog given my situation? And I want to say, and I could be mistaken, I want to say that the implication that she basically stated was, that animal abuse is a felony now, right? And don't you think it's kind of cruel that you have your dog and you're making him go through this? I mean, literally, like, no support at all. And then at one point, and then she mentions that I need Jesus, right? And I'm like, oh, I know Jesus very well. In fact, I'm here because of him. So, I'm like, I don't need you to tell me about Jesus. I know him very well. And I started quoting the scripture to her because I'm like, oh, I know Jesus. And then I started pointing out, because I think I told y'all before, whenever I see a cop, I usually quote to myself, I think it's Proverbs, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall see God, right? And I told her that at one point. So she began to get more aggressive with me because she was like, you don't have, she couldn't find the fear in me, right? Because there was none. And so she became more aggressive. And so she at one point tells me flat out, there's a lot of police officers that live in this neighborhood. And so if I were you, I would make sure that I got home safely. The implication being, you need to get the fuck out of here because I'm about to get to my house in a minute and I'm about to start calling my friends that I work with, right? And Bakersfield PD, in case you don't know, again, they have a horrific, terrible record with unarmed black people, Mexican people, all of it. They have a terrible, white people too. They shoot white people there too. That's how lit Bakersfield PD is. And we're going on 8 minutes here. So I don't want this to be too long, but here I am, a young man who's recently been hospitalized, who is literally like, a police officer, like, that's amazing. I need your help. And I'll never forget this. I asked them, I said, can you just tell me where McDonald's is? That's where my car is parked. And if I can get back to my car, then I can charge my phone. I can put this gas in my car. I can get the hell out of here. Can you tell me where McDonald's is? And she told me, walk down to that light and make a left and walk about a mile and it should be on your right. I later looked up where I was and I walked 10 miles that night. 10 miles. My dog and I walked 10 miles that night. I walked a good 10 miles that night. And I looked up later, the path that I walked. And I looked up because I remember looking at the street and I think the street sign was like something very like stands out, like Rosecrans or something. It was like something like, something that only a fucking theater geek would get. You get what I'm saying? Like I was a theater kid, drama kid. So I was like, it was something like Rosecrans or Guildenstern or something. It was like something very much like I fucking am going to remember that. Right. And so I looked up where we were when I asked her that. And then I looked up where the McDonald's was. And this police officer, off-duty police officer, right? She told me to go the opposite way from where I asked her to go. And I ended up walking, that was probably about halfway through my 10-mile walk, maybe closer to a third. I ended up walking for probably about 6 or 7 miles, give or take, from that moment, because she told me to go the wrong way. And so what her intentions were, I don't know. It's possible that I misunderstood. It's possible that I heard her wrong and that I didn't follow the directions. That is a possibility. What I think is far more likely is that she didn't care. And Black lives didn't matter to her. Do you know what I'm saying? And, you know, again, I respect authority. I respect lawfully applied authority. But that's just another story I have for you. That's another story of an interaction I had with a police officer when I was unarmed, scared, confused, trying to get home, trying to get to my car at least, and that's the way I was treated. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I have other stories, and I'll try to think of another good one, but this one just came to me right now. I was like, I gotta tell about that one. But enjoy your day. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. If you're Black, I encourage you to share one of your own stories. Tell us about something that happened to you, because the only ones I see here are from Amber, but I want to see other people's. Like, I want to see other people's stories. So, bye.